that's great. I get to get up with her at 2 in the morning and share some time with her.
This is Don from Adeline's daddy, and I'm here with Kevin, who's nice enough to let me into his house today to have some tea and chat about dad stuff.
Well, welcome.
What's it like, the life of a midwife's husband? Are you a father to all?
No, but it's kind of like Troy and the Capital District's gift to me that I get to walk into, say, a grocery store or into the daily grind, and people come up and they look so excited to see Michelle, and they have their babies from 1 or 2 years, or even back to 10 or 11 years old.
So you kind of get the benefits of new babies without the drawbacks.
Right.
Like they're not waking you up in the middle of the night, but they stop by and you get to hold them, or when they're content.
Absolutely. When Michelle comes home from a birth, sometimes it's 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning, and often she'll say something like, I love my job. So here's 3 in the morning, she's dead tired, and she just did something that she loved, and it's very exciting to be around that type of energy.
Looking back at the first 5 years or so of being a dad, what do you think is the difference in the feeling that you had at the time of the first 5 years, or like looking back at your position now to the first 5 years?
It never felt crazy, and I think it was the perfect time in my life to be a dad. I was older. I was in my 40s when I was a dad for the first time, and I think that would have been different if I had been in my 20s. I would have had a lot more uncertainty and so forth. But I was also with Michelle, and so unlike most dads who are going to the internet or the books and so forth and figuring out, I could basically ask Michelle a lot of these questions, and so I wasn't burdened with a lot of fear or uncertainty. And also even early on, I was within a community of birth providers, so we had a lot of resources, and for that I was perhaps luckier than a lot of dads.
Well, because a lot of I know I kind of read a lot, and I wasn't in my 40s, but I was in my 30s. That would probably be even more preparation to be surrounded by birthing professionals.
Right.
Just to be able to ask questions.
And Michelle had very clear ideas of what she expected, and who would be there at her birth, and who we would go to after the birth to get care for the children and to get answers.
What do you think's the toughest, looking back, the toughest age for like to be a dad, like as far as the kids' age?
Well, let me tell you the way it didn't unfold. I was thinking early on there would be lots of crying and waking up in the night, and that those would all be things that I didn't want or didn't like. And as it turned out, I came to love those things. I remember Allison would, after she was born, she would mostly sleep in our bed between us, and I thought that was the most wonderful gift, to be able to reach out and put my hand on her chest and feel her heart beating and listen to her breathing, and it was it's absolutely the best way to go to sleep.
I mean, Adeline actually is 13 months, just turned 13 months, and she has not slept anywhere but in our bed yet. Like even napped she's napped in our arms, but she's never napped in her crib. She's never slept in a crib or anywhere else besides in bed with us. So
Yeah.
I definitely understand that. It's an awesome feeling.
Allison, like all babies, would wake up and would need something and would communicate, just pure communication. She would cry, and it was either that she was hungry or that she needed to be changed or so forth. And it just seemed kind of exciting to be able to figure it out and be able to, little by little, to understand by the timing or by something what the communication meant. And I remember she would often wake up at like 2 in the morning, and I figured, well, that's great. I get to get up with her at 2 in the morning and share some time with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I do hear parents they talk about what a rough night it was. They were up with the baby crying, and I'm thinking, oh, I used to love those times. And,
Yeah.
and I would get up and I'd walk with her, and I kept thinking, you know, this is the best time.
Mm-hmm.
It's never going to be this good again. I don't want to miss any of this. I want to be walking with this.
That's awesome.
And but then, as I learned later on, that was the best time.
Yeah.
And the next time was the best time.
Yeah, right.